In the heart of a bustling city where traffic roared like restless beasts and skyscrapers pierced the clouds, stood a house unlike any other. It was massive. Walls of white marble, a golden gate, a fountain that sang all day. Yet inside, it was painfully quiet. This mansion belonged to Mr. Wallace Devereaux, one of the richest men in the country. His face often appeared on the covers of financial magazines. He was known as a genius investor, a man of power and precision. But lately, no one had seen him smile, because within those luxurious walls lived his daughter, Lily, just 9 years old, with hair like spun gold and legs that hadn't moved in over 2 years. Every day, Mr. Wallace walked into Lily's room to find her staring at the window. No books, no toys, just silence. Her legs lay limp beneath a warm woolen blanket, untouched by movement since the accident. They had been driving to a winter cabin when a truck skidded on the ice. The impact took his wife's life instantly. Lily survived, but her spine suffered a blow that left her paralyzed from the waist down. Since that day, Wallace changed. The man who once conquered boardrooms now spent his nights in hospitals, desperately searching for hope. He hired the best doctors, flew them in from Switzerland, Japan, even Brazil. They all said the same thing. There is no physical damage left. Her body can move, but her mind won't let her. One rainy afternoon, as Wallace stepped out of St. Jude's Rehabilitation Hospital, he saw a commotion by the parking lot. A group of people had gathered in a circle. Curious, he approached and saw something unexpected. A young black boy, no older than 10, barefoot, in tattered clothes, was standing in the rain. But he wasn't begging. He was dancing. He moved with such joy, such rhythm. It was hard to believe he was performing on wet concrete. In one hand, he held a tin can. With the other, he twirled a stick like a conductor. People tossed coins in his cup. Some laughed, others filmed. But Wallace just stared. There was something about the boy. Not just his moves, but his eyes. They held no fear, no shame. As the crowd dispersed, the boy noticed Wallace. He stopped, walked up to him, and smiled. Then he said something that would change everything. "Uncle, I know how to make your daughter walk again." Wallace blinked. "What did you say?" The boy looked up at him confidently. "Your daughter, she sits in a wheelchair, right?" Wallace's voice turned cold. "How do you know that?" "I saw you on TV once, holding her. She looked sad. Her legs didn't move." Wallace frowned. "You're just a street kid. What could you possibly do?" The boy replied, still smiling. "More than the men in white coats did." That line, it hit something deep. Wallace hesitated. He should have walked away, but something in the boy's tone, calm, certain, true, made him pause. "Fine," he said, almost out of curiosity. "Come with me." The mansion guards raised their eyebrows when Wallace brought home a barefoot child, but he waved them off. Inside, Lily was sitting by the window as always. "Lily," Wallace said, "this is, what's your name?" "Isaac," the boy said. "Isaac," Wallace repeated. "He'll be visiting for a while." Lily didn't react, not even a glance. Isaac walked over, sat on the floor, not the couch, and pulled out a frog made from folded leaves. "Want to see a magic frog?" he asked. No reply, so he made it hop, then hop again. He made it kiss her shoe and fall over dramatically. A tiny smile tugged at Lily's lips. Wallace noticed. It was the first smile in 2 years. Over the next weeks, Isaac came every day. He brought marbles, strings, feathers, even a stray kitten once. He told stories of kids who climbed walls and raced clouds. He never once mentioned her legs, never pitied her, never treated her like glass. But slowly, things changed. He'd place toys slightly out of reach and say, "Use your arms." Then further. "Try leaning forward." Then one day, "Push with your toes a little, just a little." Lily protested, but he turned it into a game. She laughed, she tried, and one day, her foot moved. Wallace called the doctors. They were stunned. "There's no medical miracle here," one said, "but psychologically, something's shifting." Isaac had awakened something no medicine could. He believed in her, loudly, fiercely, and treated her not as a patient, but as a person. Then came the big day. Isaac laid a trail of flower petals from her chair to the hallway. "If you want to see the surprise," he said, "you gotta follow the flowers." Lily stared at the floor. Her hands trembled. Wallace held his breath. Then, she moved her foot, then her knee. She pushed herself up, wobbling, leaning heavily on the wall, and took a step. One step, then another. Then she stumbled into Isaac's arms. Wallace wept. The next morning, Isaac didn't show up, nor the next. Wallace sent men looking. They checked shelters, slums, street corners. Days passed. Then, in an alleyway near the train station, someone found a torn notebook. On the back page, written in pencil, "My sister couldn't walk either. I helped her. She walked again. Then she got sick and died. If I can help one more kid, maybe it'll mean something." There was a name, Isaac Adewale, and then, "Don't try to find me. I don't belong in mansions." Wallace didn't stop searching, but he never found Isaac. So he did the next best thing. He sold off one of his companies, took the money, and built a rehabilitation center, the Isaac Foundation, to help children like Lily, kids from poor families, forgotten streets. They came scared, broken, and they left, walking. Every child in the program learned about Isaac, not through textbooks, but through the spirit of kindness, play, and belief. And Lily? She danced now, ran through the halls barefoot, and every year, on the anniversary of her first step, she laid petals in the park, just in case Isaac might walk by. Would you trust a stranger to heal your pain? Inspired by a heart that gave without asking, like share, subscribe, for more real stories that touch the soul.